When my father died, the world felt quieter, not peaceful, just emptier. The kind of silence that presses against your chest and makes it hard to breathe. He'd been sick for months, but hope has a strange way of lying to you. It whispers that maybe today will be better, that maybe the next treatment will work. Until one day, there are no more treatments left to try. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more heartfelt stories about love, loss, and redemption. Every week, we share emotional tales that remind us how fragile trust can be, how deep pain can run, and how forgiveness can heal even the most broken hearts. Broken Heart. By subscribing, you become part of a community that believes every story, no matter how sad or tragic, carries a message of hope. Crescent moon sparkles. So hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and stay with us for the next story that will move your soul and touch your heart. My older brother, Daniel, was the strong one, or at least that's what everyone said. He was the one who arranged a funeral, spoke to lawyers, and handled all the logistics. People kept patting him on the back, saying how responsible he was, how much like Dad he'd become. I smiled and nodded, even though something inside me twisted every time I heard it, because I knew the truth. Daniel wasn't doing it out of love. He was doing it out of control. Ever since we were kids, he needed to be the one in charge. He was a golden child, smart, confident, charming, while I was a quiet one, the one who preferred books and silence to people and noise. Dad loved us both, but his eyes always lingered a little longer on Daniel. I don't think he meant to. Parents don't always realize how favoritism leaves bruises that never fade. The reading of the will was held at Harrison & Cole, a law firm my father had trusted for decades. Their office sat in a tall, gray building downtown, smelling faintly of paper and lemon polish. There were only 4 of us in the room. Me, Daniel, our family lawyer, Mr. Cole, and his assistant. The air was heavy with grief and unspoken tension. Mr. Cole adjusted his glasses and cleared his throat. "Your father's was quite straightforward," he said gently. "He left his estate to his eldest son, Daniel." My stomach dropped. I blinked, thinking I'd misheard him. "I'm sorry, what?" Daniel didn't even look surprised. He just leaned back in his chair, his mouth curving into that smug half-smile he perfected since high school. Mr. Cole continued. "The family house, the savings accounts, the business shares, all are to be transferred to Daniel immediately." My heart pounded in my ears. "And what about me?" Mr. Cole hesitated, flipping through the papers as if maybe he'd missed something. "I'm afraid your father didn't leave anything to you in the main will." I stared at him. "That's impossible. My father would never." Daniel cut in smoothly. "Dad knew what he was doing, Emma. You were always the artist, remember? You didn't want responsibility. I'll take care of things." That's what he wanted. His words were soaked in fake sympathy, but I could hear the satisfaction underneath. I wanted to scream. I wanted to tell him that I'd been the one who stayed with Dad during the worst nights, when he couldn't breathe, when he couldn't eat, when he cried from pain. Daniel had shown up for photo opportunities, taking him out for lunch when the cameras of sympathy were watching. But when the lights went out, it was me who held Dad's hand. And now, apparently, I was worth nothing to him. I sat frozen as Daniel began signing papers, his tone polite, his face calm. My hands trembled in my lap. Mr. Cole looked uncomfortable, like he wanted to say something but couldn't. When it was all over, Daniel stood and clapped me lightly on the shoulder. "Don't take it personally, Em. You'll always have me." He walked out of the office with the will in his pocket and a victorious air about him. I didn't cry until I got home. The days that followed were a blur. I wandered to the small apartment I'd rented years ago when I moved out, surrounded by boxes of Dad's old things he'd given me long before his death: letters, photographs, an old watch that didn't even work anymore. I couldn't understand it. Dad wasn't perfect, but he wasn't cruel. Even when we disagreed, he never treated me like I didn't matter. Then, 3 days later, my phone rang. "Miss Carter," said a familiar voice. It was Mr. Cole. "Would you be able to come to the office again? There's something else I need to discuss with you." My chest tightened. "Something else?" "Yes," he said. "Your father left an additional envelope. It wasn't part of the official will, but it was given to me under specific instructions." When I arrived, Mr. Cole greeted me with a sympathetic expression. The office felt different this time, quieter, more personal. He handed me a sealed brown envelope. My name, Emma, was written on the front in Dad's handwriting. My fingers shook as I opened it. Inside was a letter, written in ink that had faded slightly around the edges. "My dearest Emma, if you're reading this, it means I'm gone, and that I've failed in the one promise I made to myself, to leave this world without hurting you. You've always been my heart, though I know I didn't always show it. I see now how often I lean on Daniel, how often I let him speak for both of us. I thought I was teaching him responsibility, but maybe I was teaching him entitlement. I left the estate to him for a reason, one I can only hope you'll understand. The company is drowning in debt. What looks like wealth is, in truth, a burden. Daniel wanted it so badly that I let him have it. I couldn't bear to let you carry that weight, but I did not forget you. Mr. Cole will explain what comes next. Love, always. Dad." Tears blurred my vision. My chest felt tight, but not from anger this time, from confusion and a flicker of something like hope. Mr. Cole cleared his throat gently. "Your father arranged for a separate trust, held privately in your name. It isn't large, but it's entirely yours. He asked me to release it only after Daniel had taken full possession of the estate." I frowned. "Why wait?" "Because he wanted to protect you," Mr. Cole said. "And I suspect he wanted Daniel to reveal his true self first." He handed me another folder. Inside was a deed, not for money, but for a small cabin by the lake where Dad used to take me fishing when I was little. Along with it, there was a savings account, modest, but enough to start over. I pressed the papers to my chest. For the first time since the funeral, I felt something other than emptiness. Over the next few weeks, the truth began to surface. Daniel had thrown himself into the role of the successful heir, moving into Dad's mansion, taking over his company, and posting polished photos online about continuing the family legacy. But behind the curtains, things were falling apart. Dad's business, once thriving, had been quietly bleeding money for years. Daniel had never bothered to look deeper. Within a month, creditors were calling. Employees